Welcome to the Encore Audio Archives YouTube channel. I'm Taper Dave, and this is my channel. I've uploaded hundreds of talks here that I've recorded at meetings in West LA, and I've also recorded conventions starting in 2013. I've got a bunch of those up. And Walt and Mary Murray, the original owners of Encore Audio Archives, started the company in the 80s, and Walt recorded Joe and Charlie's and a bunch of stuff down in Vista, California. My sobriety date is June 20th of 1994. I hope you find something you like, so please like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below. If you want to hear something that I don't have or that you don't see, I'll see that I get it. Anyways, take care and have a great day if you want to.
Now let's give a warm welcome to our main speaker, Shelley.
How are you? My name is Shelley Weiss. I'm an alcoholic. I'd like to thank Dan and Bill for having me here. Bill's already left, so that's it. And I hope you'll feel the same way after you hear me share. I'd like to start with a few moments of silence. Why not? See you in a minute. Let's take a vacation. I am an alcoholic, 100% alcoholic. I also identify as a drug addict, a rageaholic, a sugar addict. I'm all of those things. But my core is alcoholism. I used to curse all the time when I spoke. I couldn't say anything without having curse words all over the place. I'm from the streets of Brooklyn, and being a tough guy, that's how we spoke. You know, it wasn't hello, it was, you know, how to F-I, you know. So to explain what it was like, I'm supposed to share my experience, strength, and hope with you. And there's only one way I can, so if you'll excuse this one part here, my life was a bowl of fuck. And that was it. I can't tell it to you any other, you know, it was, if it was good, I wouldn't be here. If I had done stuff that had worked, I wouldn't be here. What I did not work. I'm supposed to share, as I said, my experience, strength, and hope. When you came and got me, and you came to my house at in the San Fernando Valley, on Burbank Boulevard by Whitsett, my experience, when they used to tell me to share in the beginning, I used to get up there and say, I have nothing to say. They said, tell them what it was like. So here's what it was like. This was the window to my house, okay? With the blinds drawn down so that the sun wouldn't hit the ceiling when it rose in the morning. All right? And my experience, what it was like. Shh, they can hear you. The tree people. Oh. And I'd stand there for hours at the end. Hours. And then finally wouldn't hear anything. And I'd stand up and then a twig would go, and then proof that they're there. Did you hear it? You know, a lot of you are laughing because you relate to the tree people. I always hear things in the rooms. Not everything in the rooms work for me. I'm going to share my experience, strength, and hope. If this doesn't work for you, great. I can only tell you my version of it. As I said, not everything in these rooms work, but a lot does, and I take that with me. We're laughing at that. That's funny now. They say don't leave before the miracle. I always hear that. I don't know what that means. This is the miracle. The ones who laughed at that are the ones who relate to that. someone's standing by the window now, and it's not us. What is it? You know, it's like, ooh, it's going to get better. This is better than this. It's not, you know, don't leave before it happens. It's happening here. We're laughing at 10 minutes to 9 on Saturday, or we're feeling better at 10 minutes to 9 on Saturday. Wow, for me, because I don't know what your Saturday night was like, but I know before I got here, I know what mine was like. It was dark. In the beginning, it wasn't. I also hear that my worst day sober is better than my best day using. What were they using? I had a, what is, you mean it was terrible from the beginning and we kept doing it? No, it was great in the beginning. It was fun. In fact, if you didn't do it, we didn't hang out with you. It was those guys or us. You know, it was like, there was nothing, it all revolved around using. You know, a little bit about my background. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I grew up in a very loving, caring household. You know, I would love to blame this on my parents. I wish I could, but I can't. You know, I had the disease of more. That's what my interpretation and what my sponsor told me my disease is, more. I can't do a little bit of anything. Anything. So now I don't do drugs and I don't do alcohol and I am not as rageful. By the way, I still spin out. You know, I'm coming up on 14 years. I'm 13 years, 9 months out. So I'm coming up on 4, but I still spin out. You know, I mean, but then I just spin back sooner. That's what happens. There is no perfection here. I'm so glad. I thought if I don't do this perfect, I'm not going to get it. I got it. How do I get it? I'm here, and I'm clean and sober, and I'm alive, and it's wonderful. Today I was driving to a meeting. I have you know, when you're around a little bit, you have a lot of home groups because you find certain different days of the week where you like to go to meetings. I have about 4 of them. And today I was driving to a meeting, and everyone, here's the deal, maybe you can relate to this. My alcoholism is alive and well. I'm driving to this meeting, and I started late, so I'm getting there late. Everybody who drove faster than me is an asshole, and everybody who drove slower than me is a moron. But me? There's something wrong with that if you think about it, that I'm okay, and what's your story? You know, what are you gonna kill somebody? Come on, hey. I'm like, you know, in the beginning I heard drive one car, your own. I'm into what you're doing. You know, I don't have enough to do in my life. Call me up, I'm gonna straighten you right out, no problem. Get my number after the meeting. Yeah. So, you know, I was talking about my disease more. I jump back and forward, and if you stay with me, great. If not, I'll wake you when it's over, no big deal. My disease is still alive and well. I still act out, like I say, Costco is a toy store for alcoholics. Because more is what it's about. Let's see your cards. Everybody, get your cards. I can grab it right away without looking. I got 20 of them. It's the one I use the most. In fact, I need a new one. Okay. How my disease is alive and well, my disease of more is what I'm saying to you. I buy a big cake, and they're big ones there, right? And a gallon of vanilla, and the 3-pound tub of Laura Scudders. One guy, 3-pound tub of Laura Scudders, because you never have enough, you never know. And I bring it home, and I don't now, you know, now that I know I do that I don't even take out plates or knives or who wants to wash them and has time? Let's get down to this, you know. So you'd think a normal person would cut a portion, take a scoop of vanilla, put it on, not me, like this, just like I used. You know, eat right out of the thing, I don't play games with myself, you know, I'm 58 now. No need to kid me. This is how I'm doing it, man. You know, same with buffets. I go into buffets. I've got to get my money's worth. They should have an ambulance outside some of these places. Boy, have I beat them to that. I get my $8. I'm like, you know, I can't. I'm like, I need medical attention right after it. But, you know what I mean? Get that extra scoop. And that's the deal. And just like what I use, the tequila, I like to drink tequila because I like to get gone. Tequila was like liquid psychedelic for me. I like tequila, bang. So I would drink tequila and that kind of stuff, but just like my stash, and you know what a stash is, I don't have to explain, but whatever you were using, I go to bed after the ice cream and I put it away, I put the cake away, and in the middle of the night, 3 in the morning, and it still happens, my wife can attest to it, it calls me from the kitchen. Shelley, and I'm like, you know, just another bite. Just one, a little tablespoon of vanilla wouldn't hurt. I get right back to bed. My disease is so, but that's what it is. More. I could tell you for real, I was a pothead. That was my main squeeze. I'd like to smoke a joint. I don't mean I'm walking around, but I would, but I can't do one. I can't do one of anything. I learned that here. More is better. And by the way, if you're in the, first of all, let me welcome the newcomers. The people that stood up, welcome. I just welcome. What they said to me, welcome to the land of the living. This is it. Planet Earth. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You notice there were a few newcomers and a lot of other people here. If you're a newcomer wondering, we come back here because there's something going on here. And what's going on here is it's just windows and floors and chairs, and it's just a room. But there's a spirit that is here. And that is what the essence of this program is, as I understand it. When I heard from you, when I was going to these rooms in the beginning, that I had a spiritual malady, I figured, oh no, it's a God thing. That's the hook. You know what I mean? That's why it's not going to work. And the truth is, I found out today for me that it is a God thing, and it does work. I have had, as far as I understand, what is a spiritual awakening, which is, I understand in my paraphrasing, is to act, think, say, and do. To act, think, say, and do that which I could not before. I am a different person. And it's not that I found another person. It's just that I had stifled what was inside me by putting stuff in me. I couldn't grow. So I have found the rest or the balance of my heart, my soul. The word sobriety is balance. That's the definition. Serenity, which I also found here, is something else. I work for both. I don't drink or use no matter what for today. And serenity is something I work on by praying, by being of service, by taking a second just to stop and breathe like we did. I thought it was hand in hand. I'm sober, I get serenity. Well, my sponsor taught me how to be of service from the get-go, fix chairs, do cups, and I was having fist fights in rooms. I was. The church on Camarillo in Lancashire, fix up the chairs, let them only save 2 seats. Guy saves 3. What are you doing? What do you mean? I got someone coming from over the hill. 2 seat. Yeah, no, you can't do that. Yeah, here, take this. Hey, don't touch that. Don't touch. Oh, you tap, baby, and I'm rolling on the floor. In the name of God. But I hadn't drank or used. What? What is that? That's me. That's my disease, alive and well. By the way, it still is. I told you when I drive, I catch a beat on what's your story. It's just, it's just a process. That's the word I heard. How long does it take to live life? A lifetime. I'm so glad that you came and got me at a time. You came and got me when I was 44. I am so grateful that I didn't wake up at the age of 80. God willing, I would have lived that long, or will live that long, and realize what the hell happened. What a blessing. I never thought this would happen. When we talk about life and you look at your resume, I'm going to, in the big book, which is our text, it says we are above average intelligence. That's my problem. I'm smarter than you. It's a given. Nothing to talk about at all here. I'll wait till you're finished, then I'll enlighten you. The truth of that statement that I learned here is no one of us knows more than the sum total of all of us. So I know what I know. Where that I'm smarter than you is total ego. And that's being better than. Once I start doing better than, I'm into judgmentalism. And that's a bad trap for me. It's like a pendulum. I'm either big shit or big shot, depending on when you get me. You know, hey, I wish I was you, and get away from me. What is it? Judgmentalism is not a good place for me to be. It's scorekeeping. And once I'm judging the outside, what it automatically does, the trap for me is I'm judging me against all of it too, so now I'm keeping score. And I kept score my whole life. Proud of it. When my sponsor said to me, "You're keeping score?" I said, "You bet." Proudly. Letting him know, you're not talking to just anybody here. I know what's happening. And he said, "So you're keeping score again?" "Yes." And he looked me square in the eye and said, "So what's the score?" All the bullying, all the hollering, all the bulldozing, all the whatever, what's the score? Where did it get me? In an apartment with the blinds closed, face down. I could hear the sun come up in the morning through those blinds. The sun, I'm getting chills. I do it all the time. I need to tell this because I get chills. And it's been that long ago, but I need to remember where I come from because I don't want to be there again. The sun coming through the blinds in the morning, sunrise. It's rising through the blinds. Daylight. I can't be up in daylight. At night, I used to write lists. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I swear, I'll fix the car, call them. When I wrote it, I meant it 100% in my heart. This wasn't my life. I'm getting it to... Right. I used to take showers and baths to change how I felt because I'm using and drinking all night. Right? So I take a bath, I take a shower. It was good for 1/10 of a second. Because the water only hit the outside. You told me my problem's on the inside. I knew that, but I didn't know that analogy of it. That and then nothing. It's like nothing. So the sun. Oh, shit. I'd run to bed to hide. I put my head under that pillow. I could not get deep enough and far enough away from that first sound, the first bird chirping. That bird must have been 500 pounds. It went chirp, chirp. And it banged around my head like a ricochet. It scared me. It scared me to death. Because what that sound meant was that the real world is starting and I can't go out in it. What has become of me? I used to look in the mirror at night, 2, 3 in the morning. Who was looking back? Who was that? A couple of times I used to look and I'd do this. It was like, cannot be me. I used to have what I would call Marty Feldman eyes. 2 eggs. Like, they were bulging out of and I'd look and this was not the plan. And my life was always going to be, when that happened, when this happened, when that happened, then I'm going to stop this. I'm gonna. One day when the job, when the car, when the money, but now I'm doing this till. Well, I sponsor guys in this program who still live like that. I don't get it. This is the only real life you and I have. It's 4 minutes after 9 on Saturday. How are you? Where are you? Here's my question to them, my question to you. How are you now? This is the only real life we have. 5 after 9, so everything else is conversation. I don't care what's in your appointment book. Half of that's not going to happen. And half of that is. And the stuff you want to happen, half of that's going to be terrible. And half of it's going to be good. And then stuff you never planned, half of that's going to be terrible and half of that's going to be good. So much for plans. Who the hell knows? Because we wrote it down and it's gonna. Ha! One of the best things I ever heard was, you want to hear God laugh? Tell him your plans. I don't know what's happening. I can tell you what, I never thought I'm going to be in AAA. That wasn't where I was going. I heard a gentleman share a week ago Friday. It was a great line. His mother used to say to him, why do you take the hard path? Now, my parents never said that to me because they didn't see me in the dark throes, because I wouldn't go from California to New York to visit them and let them see me like this. I did go sober and make amends. But his mother said to him, why do you take the hard path? And I had friends that would say that to me. And the ironic joke about that, I didn't know there's another one. I didn't know there's a choice. This is what I do. And this is what I'm doing. Only since I've been here do I know that I have a choice. I'm either walking towards the sunlight or I'm walking towards the dark. In everything. When I drive by somebody, if I look at them, I'm either smiling or giving them the... And that's everything I do is a step to the light or not. Everything. You know what happened in the East? We're all touched by this. Loss of life, loss of our brothers and sisters. There was a fireman that passed there who had about 14 years on the program, just spoke in Highland, in Gardner Street in Hollywood. He had like 16 years, a young man, a captain. He went into the building, he's gone. And I wonder, what can I do about all this? And it's the same thing I was doing before. Love and service. They have these pictures of Bill W. and Dr. Bob in the meeting houses. It's like a caricature drawing. They're our founders, if you're new. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just saying they're the two guys who started this, a proctologist and a stockbroker. A little scary all by itself, isn't it? And my proctologist led me, it's just some... And in one of the paragraphs, there's only a couple of paragraphs under each, and I don't remember which one I want to, screw that up or tell you what I don't know, because I don't know. But in one of them, it says, let's not confuse this with Freudianisms and intellectualism. The basis of the program is love and service. And that's all I could do today. That's my job. What happened in the East is a wake up to humanity. It's a reality check of mortality. How much time do you have left? Does anybody know how much you each individually? It's now. Again, we're back to now. What you taught me is live in your moment. It's not always easy, but it's what I try to do. That's what I understand the program is. My wife has a wonderful analogy about that the alcoholics are born with they feel like they're born with no skin, and life pours salt on us. And in these rooms, we learn how to grow new skin. It's true for my case. I don't act out anymore. Not all the time. I'm not speaking to you from perfection. I'm speaking to you from progress. Anybody who's all cured, I don't want to know them, because it's the human condition is not perfection. We're above a beast and below a god. I screw up. Regular. So what? As long as to the best of my ability I don't hurt myself and I don't hurt you. That's my job and life, and the rest is what I do. When I say my disease is alive and well, an analogy I use, and I like this, is it's like the fishing boat in Mexico or wherever they do fishing, like big sail fishing. The guy's in the back of the boat with the big reel, and all of a sudden catches a sailfish. I'm the sailfish. And then life says, you're not getting the money now. And all of a sudden I, what? And then, and then she said, now what? Out there has been reeling me in my whole life, and I've been dancing to that groove, and it almost killed me. Do you know that life is better and nothing's changed out there? I have good days, I have bad days. I have learned to live with a modicum of peace and unresolved problems. It almost makes no sense. If you have a problem, then you shouldn't have peace. I can tell you I do. Because if this program, as I understand it, is altered attitude, which means perspective is different, then my problems, I tried to put the spin on it of I have projects. Now the word problem by itself, it feels heavy, it's dark, there are clouds. I have projects, same list, not as dark. I'm just trying to throw a little light on everything. For me. I saw a great test. Try this with me, see if it works for you. Put your thumb out like this. Okay, the up sign there, okay? It's cool, right? All right, now do this. Stay with this a second. Not as good as this. So what changed? Nothing in the world. And yet I went from better to not so good to better. So it's not about what's happening. It's what my head tells me is happening. I walk down the street sometime, I'm feeling wonderful, I'm on my way to a meeting, I'm on my way somewhere, and halfway down the block, it's a beautiful day. The sky is clear, there's a slight breeze, the trees are rustling, the sun is out. I'm healthy, I'm alive, thank you God. You know what? If we put into our car what we put into our body, our car wouldn't move. So if you want to know if there's a miracle, we put stuff into a very fragile mechanism, and we're still here. Why? My opinion, there's something for us to do here. That's what I believe. That I survived what I did to myself because there's something else I need to do. And to me, again, it's love and service. So I walk down the street, it's this beautiful day, I'm feeling good that I'm alive. And all of a sudden, halfway down the block, I get an idea. What if? You figure, you put your end on it. What if he, what if she, what if they, what if the car, what if the job, you know, our stuff. Which this week is terrible, but 2 weeks ago we don't even know what it was. But we were killing ourselves 2 weeks ago about what it was. All of a sudden, because I thought, what if? My mind, the old mind, and I'm allowed to do this, by the way, because I'm not going to be, I don't know where the illusion or impression of life is that someone instilled, and it wasn't in my house, but I guess I hear this, that we should walk around like this all the time. Let's walk around in orgasm all the time. They would lock us up. But yet I think I'm supposed, if it's not this, my life is not happening. That's ludicrous. Life is ups and downs, and that's all it is. It's a ride. And what I did was I got off the ride and stalled so it couldn't continue. And what I wanted to do with life was not take the ride. I wanted to go from mountaintop to mountaintop, and it worked for a while until it didn't. So all of a sudden I have an idea, what if? Now the sun's gone, the sky is gone, the birds are gone, the warmth is gone, and I'm scared. And in real life, nothing changed, but my alcoholism got me again. So to the best of my ability, I try to stop and start again. And when we started this meeting, to me, I was starting my night over. Doesn't matter what time it is. That's all. Don't get caught in this. 2, 3, 4 times a day. I like to. It's nice. If you would have told me peace was what I was looking for, I would have said, yeah, thank you, take a walk. And in the era I grew up with, I was a music executive for many years, and I grew up, in the Richie Havens stuff and that kind of stuff in New York. And Richie Havens used to say that the word peace to him was when 2 countries weren't fighting. It was a time in between wars. It had nothing to do with him. Peace was like, and now I've learned to claim that word. I remember driving to a meeting with my wife, a Dickens meeting, and we were driving, and my wife's in her 17th year, and I'll be 14 soon, and we were driving to a meeting, and I was driving, and we were driving, and she looked at me and said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "I'm so calm, I'm uncomfortable." I thought something was wrong, because there was such a void of angst and the mechanism of pumping and going and thinking and doing, you know. That's okay sometimes. I was on all the time. It's a full-time job being on. It's terrible. And yet I didn't know there was another way. I live in a house now where most of the time, I mean 98, 99%, we have peace. I didn't have peace when I lived alone with me. I didn't know it was available. I have found a God. I'm Jewish. My God has nothing to do with Jewish. It's not that for me. By the way, I don't negate anything that it is for you. Please do not read into anything here. Whatever works for you, do it. Just make it big. Because if you are not standing by the window now, your God has worked for you. Put whatever name you want on it. I heard someone say, don't tell God how big your problems are. Tell your problems how big your God is. I try and live with that. I try and take the burdens of just living and existing and getting through, which we all face outside these doors, and say, here, you take it, you do. I literally put them here like weight, because it is. And here, you take it. I push it up like a balloon. It's not like I hold it up here like, you know, jump shot. What I hear, God, this is yours today. And I don't mean that I waited home for the world to come to my house and God's working for me, so I'll just, when you're ready, I'm in. You know? Because I have self-will, you know? And I can make good things happen or bad things happen, but I don't know which are which, so I just go about my business. The word God to me is a verb. It's something I do that I keep present. It's a feeling inside me that I believe I'm part of the universe now, part of the trees and the plants, and that it all matters. It does matter. You matter to me. I don't know you. I care. And there are a lot of people in these rooms who care. You don't believe it? Keep coming back. Nothing I'm going to sell you. You'll see it. We are in a state of grace right now. Please claim it. Please claim it. Don't wait for the carrot. When that happens, then I'm gonna. John Lennon's line, life is what happens while you're making plans. This is it. Take your Saturday. Here, you know, guys I sponsor, I said, you know what, take the rest of the night off. That's what I'm telling you here. Take the rest of the night off. You're on vacation now. Why not? It's not tough. And I don't mean don't do what your plans are. Just don't get involved in anything that means anything. Just go about your business. I have guys that call me up, newcomers. It's wonderful. Oh, I'm blessed to have that I get a chance to be of service. And they tell me Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday was good. They call me on a Friday, and Thursday was terrible. Do you know why? What happened? And I say, I do. Of course, you know, I'm in the know, right? You can tell that just by listening. And they say, you know why this happened? I say, yes. Why? Because. How the hell do I know why? What am I, God? It's because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were good and Thursday wasn't. What do you think? What? It's like, you know, I'm sober. Let's just all fly now. Everybody fly. It's just the nature of life. It's just a mechanism. But doing it with this has given me more peace. And I guess since there's a lot of people with time here, the same for you. Something must be working for you. This is a room, walls, chairs, us, we. What a power. This is about power. I want to share something with you. I usually paraphrase this because I couldn't find it. This is called struggle. Oop. Okay, it's short. Struggle. A man found a cocoon of the emperor moth and took it home to watch it emerge. The emperor moth is a beautiful butterfly. One day a small opening appeared, and for several hours the moth struggled but couldn't seem to force its body past a certain point. Deciding something was wrong, the man took a scissors and snipped the remaining bit of the cocoon. The moth emerged easily, its body large and swollen, the wings small and shriveled. He expected that in a few hours the wings would spread out in their natural beauty, but they did not. Instead of developing into a creature free to fly, the moth spent its life dragging around a swollen body and shriveled wings. The constricting cocoon and the struggle necessary to pass through the tiny opening are God's way of forcing fluid from the body into the wings. The merciful snip was in reality cruel. Sometimes the struggle is exactly what we need. If you are here, you have been let out of the gates of hell. That's what I believe. Now, I don't know that the gates of heaven have opened up and let me in, but out of the gates of hell. I hear things in these rooms that I say I agree, I don't. They say there are no big deals. We are men and women risen from the dead, as far as I'm concerned. We have been given the gift of life today. Please claim it. Please claim your now. We win already. Someone's going to have a good time tonight. Might as well be us. I would say, God bless you. But it's already been done. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Sorry to interrupt your viewing. Taper Dave here. Just wanted to take a second to ask you to like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you like what you're listening. I've got some very good talks here, and this one's a great one. Just curious, do you think this is better than Zoom? Tell me what you think. Okay, this is how I prepare my drone for launching. I like to do it inside the cab of my truck so I'm not standing outside in the weather. To install the joysticks for control, up and down, right and left, powered on. I have an Android phone that I use to connect it to the drone with. And it's actually controlled through the iPhone, through an app. Oops, wrong way. It's actually controlled through the iPhone, or through this Android phone, through the app. It's actually controlled through the Android phone, through an app, and you connect it through this short connection right here.
Remote control connected.
Remote control's connected. So I pull out the drone. I have to extend the legs. Long legs extended first, then the short legs. Remove the gimbal protector. Set that aside, then power it on one short burst. in one long burst. I lay it down. So I have to go to calibrate. So the drone's not connected yet. It shows you here as this drone gets disconnected, even though the remote's powered on. So the drone has to establish it's connected. So I go into the app to calibration mode. First I'll calibrate the remote controller. Start calibration. Out, in, oop, out, in, up, down, and then this little wheel is to control the gimbal. So it's calibrated. Go to gimbal calibration, start calibration, and then it calibrates the gimbal. I don't know if that shows up. The gimbal's moving all over the place. Changes, you can see it on the video. And I'm calibrated to take off. It's acquired 7 satellites at the moment. There are 26 satellites up in the sky, which it has to acquire before you can take off. So it's connected. It's got enough satellites. This is white. I can go to press this little arrow button, swipe right to take off, and it would start the motors if I slid this to the right. But I'll wait till I get outside. Don't want to do it inside.